Hello, everyone. Sorry that we're late. I forgot there was no, I didn't forget there was a game today. But today, thanks to U.S. Soccer, thanks to the U.S. Men's National Team, we actually finally get to watch the Oman national team. Which, this is one of those experiences, Pete, that I might have gone my entire life without knowing Oman had a national team, and now I get to watch them. And I know there's some sarcasm to what I'm saying, but at the same time, it's actually something they can always say. You watched Oman play football or soccer.
I watched Oman play live back when I lived in India. They played them in a World Cup qualifier.
Okay, we don't have to brag here.
Well, since we're talking about watching Oman play, it wasn't U.S. Soccer that gifted this to me. I just want to make that clear.
You had the privilege to watch them actually live.
Yeah, in stadium. It was fun.
That's actually fun. So we'll see. The thing about this here, we're going to talk about the starting 11. And before the game starts, I want to go through some results from Oman because they've actually pulled some results that I'm like, wait a second, this team might not be that. Okay, they're not good, but it's like if we go all Berhalter ball, cross, 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 and all that, which we'll see, the lineup seems to be a bit better, maybe. And like it could be one of those games that it just becomes like a scrappy win for the United States at the end of the day. They can make it scrappy.
I mean, they shouldn't be able to make it scrappy. They shouldn't.
Ideally, if it's not Berhalter ball, yes.
Yeah.
But under Berhalter, anything's possible. But the starting 11 for today, Ethan Horvath's on goal. Matt Turner had to leave camp because his wife they're having a kid. I think it was just born, or it's born like today or tomorrow, something like that. So Matt Turner had to leave camp. Joe Scally also left camp. That's another one. So Serginho Dest, Chris Richards, Serginho Dest on the right, Christopher Lund on the left. It looks like Jedi Robinson is not 100% also, and I guess you give Lund a chance here too. The two center backs will be Chris Richards and Miles Robinson. And then we might have a double pivot here at Yunus Musa and Weston McKennie, with Malik Tillman playing as a 10 behind Balogun. Then Timmy Weah on the right. Who else? Christian Pulisic on the left, and Balogun, as we mentioned. The one thing here we have to look out for, I think it's going to be a 4-2-3-1 based on this lineup.
Real quick, Tack. Uzbekistan just scored on Mexico.
Oh, no. Should I tweet it? No, let's wait. Okay, hold on. Pete, your thoughts on the lineup? I need to get my phone. I can't let this slide for
Yeah. Go have at it. Yeah, I mean, this is about the best. The only thing I would maybe like to see is Kevin Paredes instead of Christopher Lund. But on the other hand, this is our first chance to get a real look at Christopher Lund, so I'm fine with it. Could maybe argue Mark McKenzie over Miles Robinson. I thought he was fine when he came on against Uzbekistan. But I mean, really, the big W for this lineup is playing Malik Tillman. It looks like it will be Malik Tillman at the 10. Obviously, we have to wait and see how it plays out. It could still be a double pivot. I mean, it could still be a 4-3-3. You could still have, Musa at the 6, and then McKennie and Tillman as the quote-unquote attacking midfielders, more like box-to-box. But even if that's the case, we know that Malik Tillman is by nature a more creative player. So it does seem like, he'll have an opportunity to show what he can do. And it does look like Oman will be playing in a relatively low block. So he'll get a chance to see if he can pick that lock. If that is the case, it's important that we play really well and win, because every data, we have some data of playing with a 10 with Gio Reyna. Every minute of data we can show Greg that 4-2-3-1 suits us better, then the more chances we have maybe of him eventually going, how much do you think this was BJ in his ear going, Greg, I'm telling you, Greg,
it worked.
Listen to me.
It worked. I'm telling you, it worked.
If this was BJ, let's give this man the Presidential Medal of Freedom or whatever it is, because BJ could be the little bird chirping in Greg's ear.
Yeah, it's not only just about playing a 4-2-3-1, because you can also play a 4-3-3 and have a destroyer, a box-to-box, and a creator on that 4-3-3. And that would be good enough to get something out of the middle. A guy that actually has the instincts to create and playing behind the 9. Because we keep playing the system where our 9 is always isolated in an island, barely gets touches, just gets a bunch of crosses and has to figure out, which is not really the best game for any of them at the end of the day. With a 10 behind them like Gio or Tillman or honestly whoever else we can play there, at least Balogun has someone to combine, someone that can make a pass. That Balogun can make those runs in behind the back line. So we'll see how it plays out with Tillman. I don't think Malik Tillman is Gio Reyna, but I think Malik Tillman has quality. So it's a positive.
Yeah, and I
And
think we'll
go
have to
ahead.
see what he actually does in real time, right? Because if it's the system, when he might be instructed to push it wide as often as he can. So we have to wait and see. Just because he's there doesn't mean much
Mhm.
yet, you know?
Yeah, and they can also still follow Greg Berhalter's system, and
Right,
literally when they have an opportunity to drive inside, they go wide for a cross because
right.
it's just cross, cross, cross. Just it's just Greg Berhalter trying to find. He's fighting Satanism. That's what's happening. He's
What?
just yeah, that's what
Oh,
he's
the
doing.
crosses. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just fighting Satanism. He's a very Christian guy, and he's like, no, I'm not dealing with it. And that's Greg Berhalter going against the system. Cubone Maker saying confirmed 4-2-3-1 with Tillman in there. I don't know if it's confirmed. We'll see when it starts. Like Tillman is starting, but we don't know where his position is. He could be playing the 8. We don't know. We really need to wait and see. It's not something that's said and done. President Chip saying send Greg Berhalter to South Korea, bring back Jurgen Klinsmann. So I spent some time on South Korean Twitter this week just for a little bit because they were talking about Klinsmann. I'm like, okay, let me click. Albert Kim, the guy I had here on the channel, he was talking about it. So I clicked it and got into South Korean Twitter. They hate Klinsmann. They
And it's
hate
only
him.
been 6 months.
Yeah, his results haven't been great. To be fair, he's played much tougher opponents than Berhalter usually does. I can go through them here if you want to. But the thing is, he's with that whole thing of like, which I agree with him. Europe is the best place, but he's pushing the whole thing. I need to be in Europe, all Europe, 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 and the South Koreans are kind of pissed off.
Well, he's saying the player, well, in the past, we with the US was saying the players need to go to Europe, right? Now he's saying I need to be in Europe. There's no point in me, being in South Korea. I need to be in Europe meeting people. So I don't know exactly what he means by that, but it
So
does seem like a disdain.
so that one was taken out of context. So they put a quote in an article, and then they put the actual video after. That was taken a bit out of context. What he was saying was there's no point on him staying at Seoul or the capital there of South Korea when there's nothing happening. It's like if nothing's happening there, he has to be in Europe watching the games, contacting clubs, talking. He wasn't saying to
Which is
never be
fair.
there. Yeah, they even a lot of the South Koreans apologized, saying now that they saw the video, they're like, okay, he wasn't really just like trying to go himself. They took it out of context. S27 saying Hansi Flick to the U.S. men's national team and Greg Berhalter to the Revs. Yeah, what's up with Bruce Arena?
Bro, it's getting wild. Did you see now they fired Shari Joseph and Dave Vandenberg, who were the guys that the players liked, and they were on Bruce Arena's side, and this guy Richie William, who's the tattletale, who ratted on Bruce Arena.
No, and that girl, that woman that works for Apple, Kyle Clayley,
Kayla.
whatever, she
Yeah,
like
Kayla
said
something.
something that was like a racial slur, and they suspended her for like
They suspended
30
her
days.
for 30 days, and then now they said Richie Williams is going to be in charge, but Shari Joseph and Dave Vandenberg, the other two assistants, were like, no, fuck this guy, and the players don't seem to like him either. So they had a meeting with the Revolution Brass this morning, and the Revolution Brass didn't tell them why Bruce Arena got fired. So they're like, fine, we're not going to train. So they fired the two assistants now. Dave
So
Vandenberg, it's wild, wild times up in New England.
and Bruce Arena, what did Bruce Arena say, man?
They won't tell anybody. But it must be serious enough because Bruce Arena has said a lot of wild shit in his career. But for them
Yeah.
to actually make him resign, for Bruce to apologize, Bruce never apologized once, I don't think. So for Bruce to apologize and admit wrongdoing, it must have been pretty bad. But still, it sounds like Richie Williams is a little bit of a B.
Yeah, but look at one thing I want to show you. Since he's talking about Hansi Flick, to me, this was the result today. Germany 2, France 1. To me, the players wanted to sack Flick. The German players are very good. They were having terrible results, and then as soon as Flick leaves and whoever's in charge, I don't even know who's in charge.
It's
It's
Rudy
not.
Voller. It was their coach from '02 who played
Oh, he
Brazil in
took
the
it.
World Cup final.
Oh, he's an interim right now.
He's back. Yeah, he's the interim right now.
Okay, so he just took over in like a day or two, and they beat France. So the players were trying to take down Hansi Flick. I don't think Hansi Flick is a bad manager by any means, but he lost the group, and they clearly weren't playing for him. And as soon as he leaves, they magically defeat France. Would I take Hansi Flick over Greg Berhalter? Yes.
In a heartbeat. Here's
right
the
away.
thing, though. I think Germany has bigger problems because they had a lot of these same problems too under what's his name? Shit, the former
Joaquin Le,
coach.
Joaquin Le.
Low, thank you. Joachim Low. They had a lot of these similar problems. So I don't know if it's just a coaching issue. I think they've got bigger issues. I don't know what it is. But it seems like two coaches in a row now. Like, I don't know if it's just a simple fix. But it'll be interesting to see who they get.
Yeah, and going through some of this international break right now, just to go through a few results, because I like to follow international break. Norway defeated Georgia, and this is not Georgia, our state. This is Georgia, the country. Uh, Spain defeated Cyprus. Is that how
Yeah,
you say it?
Cyprus. Yeah.
Cyprus, which I can't name a player from Cyprus. Italy defeated Ukraine 2-1. Malta lost to North Macedonia 2-0. Belgium 5-0 against Estonia. Like they play these countries in Europe that are about CONCACAF level, Cyprus, Estonia. These are like Caribbean islands essentially level. Jesus Ferreira would have his way with these teams. Austria defeated Sweden, Israel, Belarus, then some games we don't care too much about. China lost to Syria. That probably was a terrible game. Japan. I think Japan's a good one to talk about. They've been on a roll for a while. They look good in the World Cup. Their development is right. And I talked about today how if there's a team or nation outside of CONMEBOL or UEFA closer to winning a World Cup, I think it is Japan.
It's
And it's
Japan.
not
Yeah.
because they have the best national team out of those. There's some teams in Africa that have more talent. The United States can compete with Japan on paper. But the one thing I see with Japan was they did all the right steps. They're developing the right types of players, and their trajectory over the next 20 years, like to hear this or not, it is more promising than ours.
Well, also, a lot of that was kickstarted by an American who is ignored by his own federation.
Well, they also literally brought Zico and they sent players to Brazil to copy what Brazil does. They were like, we're just going to copy. Like, we
Yeah.
know what works. While the US, there's this snobbery that we just know how to do better instead of literally getting what works, copying, and making it better. But we just want to do things. We're kind of like going the route of like an English development system, which is
That
honestly not the greatest.
that is exactly it. We had two choices with soccer development. We could have followed the English roots, our Caucasian overlords from the
Which
past,
sucks, by the
who
way.
are terrible, or we could have embraced our Hispanic Latino roots, and we didn't do that. So this is where we're at.
And now we're playing athletes and eating fish, fried fish and chips. Okay, we're not eating fried fish and chips that much, but you get the point. No, but I mean, we did also hire Southgate with an American accent and no
Yeah,
hair to be our
yeah.
coach.
We basically followed it to a T, and then we kept him just like England kept Southgate.
So yeah, we followed the wrong development system. While Japan copy and pasted Brazil and implemented it right to a certain, not by copy and pasted Brazil. I'm not saying they're Brazil, but they copied a lot of the Brazil. Like they look for technical players. That's what they look for.
Yeah, but
Flair.
also Tom Son's like TV program had kids playing with the ball from the age of 2 years old, and that was on for 13 years. That sparked a whole generation of technical players who learned to like actually dominate the ball from the age to 2 to 5 years old. So by the time they got into schools and academies, everybody was already comfortable on the ball. It isn't something you had to learn in the academy. So it's but the U.S. soccer has almost summarily ignored him, which
Mhm.
is wild when you think about that.
So, do you agree that I think right now the US and Japan, in terms of like talent, I think it is fairly close. It's hard to even say which one is better, but they are more well coached and they have, I guess their floor might be a bit better too. They have their players are all technical. They don't have weak links.
They have better
So
depth.
yeah. So would you say that if we look over the long term, not long term, let's say 20 years from now, I think the US is still very promising. Would you agree that Japan might be looking a bit more promising? They're taking the right steps in every direction.
Yeah, I think they laid the foundation, right?
Better than
That's the
us, yeah,
thing.
yeah.
They laid a much better foundation, and that's starting to pay off. I do think they're close in terms of talent, but I think they're going to start to pull away. You have to remember, we never really laid the right foundation. We're getting better, but a lot of our guys are dual nats that we recruited. How many of these Japanese guys are dual nats
None,
from Europe or
zero,
South America, right?
zero.
So
Well, and Pete, let's talk about one thing. How about Mitoma, that comes from Japan out of nowhere from the Japanese league, makes a jump to the Premier League, and is one of the best wingers in the league. I don't want to hear it. People are going to say he's not one. No, he's probably among the top 15, top 20 best wingers in that league easily. Uh, and he went straight from the Japanese league. Have we seen an MLS player jump from MLS and have an immediate impact as a starter just right away in the Premier League?
Certainly not an American developed player, right? Like,
Exactly.
and even the one, what's his name from
Miguel
Newcastle,
Miron.
Miron, right? Almiron did go. His impact was not immediate, and also he wasn't
No.
developed in the U.S.
He's also worse than Mitoma right now, by the way, just to make that clear.
BMR is saying Matoma went to Belgium first. Is that true?
I can double check. Let me see.
I do think he went somewhere else first.
Let me see if he went first. Mitoma, because Mitoma is older. So Mitoma, he left. Okay, so he went to Kawasaki Fontari. He was from Kawasaki Fontari. Brighton signed him immediately. He went one season on loan to Belgium, but Brighton did sign him immediately from Japan.
Right.
So, okay, he had a season to adapt, I guess, in Belgium, but okay, put any MLS player in Belgium for a season, he's not coming out and having an impact in Premier League as far as the one, besides Alphonso Davies. That one, yes.
Yeah, that was an outlier.
Yeah, that one would, but it's not common. And I mean, we've had also other Japanese players that looked outstanding. Kagawa, when he was playing for Dortmund many, many, many years ago, before he moved to Manchester United, that was a true 10.
Yeah, I
Kamada is
liked
a great
Kagawa.
10. Japan is actually quite impressive what they've been doing, at least for the long term. And now they're getting more players in Europe. I think they're going to get, that's their second step now, getting a lot of players there.
Yeah, they already have a lot, even ones you don't even realize. Like, like there's that guy over at Monaco, who was their next. I don't remember his name right now. He was their next big thing, and he didn't quite pan out the way people wanted him to. What he was going to play for Real Madrid. I can't remember what his name.
Kubo.
Yeah, Takefusa Kubo. That's who it was.
Kubo.
Takefusa Kubo. But it doesn't matter. Like, you don't make it at Real Madrid, whatever. But you're still playing in a top 5 league and being very good for Monaco.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was Minamino. Minamino is there. Sorry. Takefusa Kubo is another guy, but he didn't go to Monaco.
Qatar and Russia played. That's interesting. England defeated Scotland 3-1. I didn't watch that game. Oh, and Mexico tied.
They pulled one back.
Yeah, good for Mexico. Struggling there with Uzbekistan. They made fun of us, but look at them. So let me put here, because the game's about to start in about like a minute or so. So I'm going to put already the U.S. lineup here on screen. Everyone, if you just arrived, don't forget to drop a like. This will be a live watch along for United States versus Oman. And like many of you in the chat, this is the first time in my life that I get to watch Oman. Pete already had that privilege live in Asia. Good for him. You guys are watching probably Oman for the first time. Jeff is saying Pete and Tack, U.S. Soccer and Berhalter were unmercifully trashed by almost everyone the last 2 days. I'm telling you, the extreme pressure is on. It's on, but they don't care.
That's what the thing, Jeff. I mean, I don't know if I believe that really has an impact on what they do or say. I think they pretty much confirmed that when they rehired Berhalter.
Yeah, and then Jeff says, I'm going to be firing off zesty comments all night. A lot of people have. Like, they know by now a good chunk of the fan base does not like Berhalter. He got booed in Miami when he welcomed Messi, and he recognized that. He said it, that he got booed.
He said, I got jeered.
Yeah. He got booed also in St. Louis. That was according to Jeff Carlisle. Jeff Carlisle would not tweet that if he actually didn't hear it.
No.
He's not doing it for engagement, guys. So if he tweeted it, it's true. So he knows. Dob is saying, word is 10 Peruvian shamans met up earlier today to cast a spell on Neymar. Do you think Brazil can overcome these dark magic tactics? Yes, you know that because I posted that tweet. We found that video. Yeah, I think Brazil will be all right. It's whether or not you believe in that dark magic stuff, I guess.
Are Brazilians superstitious by nature?
They're just a little stitious. Just a little.
Stitious.
Pete, what the heck is FootMob doing with this lineup? What kind of formation is this?
I think they've gotten so used to Gregg putting out a 4-3-3. They're just like, we know the U.S. is always in a 4-3-3. But then...
But what is this?
Yeah, this is weird. It feels like a graphic issue.
Yeah. Okay, fix it.
Reload. There you go.
S27 say, I think Japan competes for the 2026 World Cup. No, I don't. I think they still have a long way to go in terms of title contention, but they're one of those teams that can very comfortably make it to a quarterfinals, and it wouldn't really be a surprise if they make it to a
semifinal. I mean, if Morocco can get to a semifinal, I think Japan can.
Yeah. I would just say that quarterfinals would be a surprise to no one. It would be okay. That's
Yeah.
pretty normal for this team.
Yeah.
Semifinals would be a deep run right there. It would already be a bit of a surprise, right?
I
But
think what they need to do now for Japan, because they have a very good foundation and base, but they need to start developing world class players. Like, how many
Mhm.
world class players do they really have
None,
right now?
none.
So that's the next. If you want to win a World Cup, almost impossible to win a World Cup. I'd say impossible to win a World Cup without world class players.
I would say that the team they currently have with and this is going to sound very silly, but if they had like 4 or 5 world class players with the players they have, they're a contender.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh,
So
100%.
that's probably what they're for. Sargent is as Alex is saying. Sargent's as good as Mitoma. Well, different positions, and no, he's not as good as Mitoma. Sargent would probably do okay nowadays in the Premier League. Mitoma is one of the best wingers in the league. He's been absolutely fantastic last season. I think he started to play more and more after Trossard left, I think, to Arsenal. Frank Castro saying U.S. soccer was shocked by the boost. They were not shocked by the booze, Frank. They were not shocked. They knew. They know people don't like Greg at this point. They just don't care. They pretend it's just a bunch of crap. We like BJ Callahan, not Greg, and Anthony Hudson. We can have Anthony Hudson too. This is a Japanese
Anthony
channel or
doesn't
what?
get the
Sorry,
credit 'cause
sorry,
he
guys.
was
We talked
pushed
a lot
out.
about Japan. We're going to talk about the U.S. men's national. So pay attention to the screen real quick. This is what I want to talk about here. When we play on the 4-2-3-1, what we've been always concerned is we never have a player playing behind our 9. So we have Tillman today possibly playing that 4-2-3-1. Our 9 for the U.S. men's national team continuously gets isolated in an island. He's extremely ineffective. And that is why throughout Berhalter's entire cycle, 2022, and even the last one, the 9s usually don't look that good. They really don't. No matter who we played, no one. And this is not really an endorsement on Jesus Ferreira because he looked bad regardless. But under Berhalter's system, if it's not adjusted, hopefully it is today, with someone playing behind Balogun, combining, trying to put a through ball, pick a lock. Balogun, Sargent, Pepe, whoever you play, it's just not going to be good enough because of the system. And I don't know if you remember this too. Remember when Gregg Berhalter said that he didn't need his 9 to score 5 goals? He needed him just to play within the system. It's like, I mean, look, if you have a 9 that scores 5 goals for you, who even cares if he knows the system? If he's scoring 5 goals, you're winning every single game. It doesn't even
It's like
matter.
Greg would rather us play his system than win.
I mean, I kind of believe that, though. I do believe that.
Yeah. He's a stubborn nerd. There's nothing more dangerous than a stubborn nerd.
Yeah. There also, thanks for the super chat saying, I miss BJ. Well, BJ is still there. And you might want to make sure you put BJ Callahan there. Are you talking about BJ Callahan? I don't know. But the one thing that I find interesting here about all of this is, let's see. What if Malik Tillman is playing as an 8? What if it's the same system? Then here's my question to you.
Yeah, we have to see. What they do on the field will be very telling.
But my question is, do you think Gio will play central?
Is that what?
Do you think Gio will play central when he's back?
I doubt it based on what Greg already said, but we'll see.
Another fake kickoff time by U.S. Soccer. Yes,
it does bode well.
They're starting 10 minutes.
It does bode well.
I think we're lagging a little bit. Let me see. Okay, and the game's about to start, everyone. If you want to synchronize with me, the game's about to start right now. I already put the timer. I'm actually 30 seconds behind what's on screen. Pete, did the game start for you? Yeah, Pete's definitely lagging right now. Definitely lagging. But everyone, the game just started. United States versus Oman. For the first time in history, we play Oman. Oh, look at Gregg Berhalter in his shoes. Here's the thing. I forgot to say this before the game started. What's interesting about Oman is they had a series of games, and they actually, what should I call it? They actually got some interesting results. Just hear me out here. Hear me out. Oman, in January, defeated Saudi Arabia. They also defeated Bahrain, whatever that is. They lost to Iraq. I'm trying to find the result. I think they played Germany last year. Oman lost to Germany just 1-0 last year. Just 1-0, Oman and Germany. So if we do play Berhalter ball, and looking at it right now, it looks like Tillman is playing as an 8. It does look like Tillman is playing as an 8. It does look like a 4-3-3. I don't know if you guys have noticed this already, but it looks like a 4-3-3. Tillman is definitely not playing as a 10. Definitely not playing. So again, Germany's finished. Nah, Germany defeated France today. Germany defeated France. Okay. Oman in possession here with their goalkeeper. And listen, I do not know the name of any of the Oman players. I understand a lot of you come here and want information, but I thought, I personally thought none of you cared enough to know the Oman players. So I didn't really spend any time learning their names. So I apologize for that. I'm sorry. Um, eights are tens now. This eights are tens now. I know I've heard that before. When we're attacking, maybe in a different phase of play. So defensively, it's a 4-3-3. That's the defensive shape. We're gonna have to wait and see on the different phases of play how we position ourselves. Usually in possession, we're not really on a 4-2-3-1 anyway, ever. Because our fullbacks pull high up the field. Miles Robinson wins the header. Oman has the ball. That'll be a free kick for Oman. Okay, free kick for Oman. Dude, is it cold in Minnesota already? How is it cold? It's freaking September. Like Greg has a bit of a Greg has a hoodie on, but even the fans that are in the stands right now, they have like a jacket, a hoodie. It's freaking September and it's cold in Minnesota. It's like 200 degrees in Florida. I almost died outside today. Gregg Berhalter. Oman, good delivery. And okay, look at Oman. Good cross, but Balogun will come back and clear it. Balogun is also expected to get subbed out early today. Damn. It's 58 degrees in Minnesota today in September. Dio saying Tack got college right now, so I can't watch. How are we looking? I can't really jump to any conclusion. It's been 3 minutes. I can't really figure out how we're doing yet. But Oman has had the ball for the most part during these 3 minutes. Oman has had the ball for the most part. And Yunus Musa is playing the 6. Interesting. He tried Musa at the 6. Here comes the cross from Oman, cleared by Chris. Oman again with a shot, and it goes out of bounds there. So Oman, it's only 4 minutes. It's not time to overreact, but Oman has been better in the first 4 minutes, which is kind of depressing. I mean, again, it's only 4 minutes. We should gain some ground here in this match at some point, I'm hoping. Chris Richards tries to find Weston. Christian Pulisic finds Christopher Lund. Weston McKennie. The United States can be a good moment here. McKennie driving forward down the left flank. Finds Christopher Lund. Let's see what Christopher Lund can do. Christopher Lund did play in the last game. This is his first start with the U.S. men's national team, so it's interesting to see what he can do. Lund find Christian Pulisic. Pulisic passed it back all the way to Yunus Musa. So now what happens in possession is the 2 8s that we have, Tillman and McKennie. Oh, good ball. Oh, he's not going to reach it. Tillman and McKennie push very high up the field, almost as dual 10s. I'd rather have McKennie drop back and have just Tillman centralized right there. Just Tillman central. So the United States was finally able to hold some possession here down the left flank after Oman pretty much was the only team playing the first 4 minutes. Didn't really create anything out of it, but it looks like it might be a corner here for the United States. Let's see if I didn't. Oh, Jeff is saying Texas beat Alabama. I didn't watch it, but congratulations to Texas. Cross in cleared by Oman. I didn't watch it. I really didn't. The Big Foy. Thank you for the super chat, but you didn't write anything. So I don't know what you were saying, but thank you anyway for the super chat. Oh, you wrote on the second one. You said it's going to be -10 here in Minnesota pretty soon. What do you mean by pretty soon? Like December? Yeah, I get. Well, I mean, December is winter already, so it makes sense. But we're literally in the beginning of like we're not even. Well, we're reaching mid September, which is kind of like beginning of fall, end of the summer. It should be super hot there. I mean, it should be hot everywhere, but I guess Minnesota. What's the hottest it gets in Minnesota during the summer? Does it even go over 80 degrees in Minnesota? Z is saying, I was in Oman in 2009 for the Gulf Cup. Oman won. Wow, that's impressive. How's Oman, the country? I actually don't know anything about Oman, the country. Miller is saying BJ only needs 4 minutes. Yeah, BJ only needs 4 minutes to win the match. I'm gonna leave that up. Weston McKennie tries to find some options. Great switch by Wes, finding Timothy Weah. Weah down the right. Weah finds Tillman. Doesn't really have many options. Tillman opens up to Serginho Dest. We're just gonna go all Berhalter mode. Cross, cross, cross. Tillman with the cross. Can we at least score a goal off a cross just to like justify all these crosses? More like 30 seconds. Minnesota goes from -20 to 100. It's wild. Yeah, man. I mean, congratulations for being able to live through that. I would not be able to live through that. Even though I went to school at Buffalo, New York, which also got to probably -10 a few times in Buffalo, New York. And during the summer, it would get warm. But I didn't stay in Buffalo during the summer because it was college. And why would I stay in Buffalo during the summer? Nothing against the city of Buffalo. I just think there's better places, I guess, places that you can have more fun than Buffalo. But nothing against the city of Buffalo. I can't have anyone attack me from Buffalo. Even though, is there anyone from Buffalo in the chat? I I had college there for 4 years. They're also saying attendance is much better, and they're singing "Saints Go Marching On." They are. Is the oh yeah? I didn't look at the attendance. Is this game sold out? Weston McKennie tries to deliver it to Balogun, and Oman will clear, and Weston McKennie heads the ball. Oman will try to hit us in transition. Christopher. I'm already getting sleepy. Good thing I have coffee here. If you want to have fun, don't come to Maryland. I've been to Maryland. Washington, D.C. I thought Washington, D.C. was fine. I mean, sure, Washington, D.C., if you go to Congress and all that, that's like the crime capital of the United States, essentially, in Congress. But Washington, D.C., I thought it was cool. I liked Washington when I was there. But again, I went as a tourist, right? I didn't live there, so I don't know. I don't have an opinion of that. Chris Richards to Miles Robinson. Yunus Musa. Let's see here. They let me in college. Yeah, they allowed me to go to college. Yeah, they let me in. I finished college. I'm not going to share my opinions in college, though, because then there will be people that won't let their kids watch my channel anymore. So I'm going to just stay quiet. I'm going to say nothing without my lawyer. Oh, David D lives in Darien Lake. Isn't Darien Lake close to Rochester? Am I right? I don't know. I think the game is close to sold out. So Christopher Lund here. Tim Weah had the ball. Tim Weah got a good cross from way. Oh, that was going to find Christopher Lund, but Oman was able to clear it. And that will be a corner kick for the United States, 10 minutes into the first half. Corner kick for the United States. I want to see us take advantage of some set pieces here, too. Ball delivered, cleared by the Omani. Is it Omani? The Omani goalkeeper. The good thing about watching games on Peacock, especially because I have it in Spanish also, is like when we're watching games on Apple, like the Messi live watch-alongs that I do, the Lionel Messi, every time I have the TV, I have to be very careful when I have the volume up because every time Messi scores, Taylor Twellman has an orgasm on TV. And I don't want my microphone picking up a guy having an orgasm. That can get me canceled here. I can't let that happen. But every time Messi scores, like the guy's just like going crazy and screaming on TV. Shit's weird. It's weird. Very weird. Tron Carter saying Uzbekistan is up 2-1 on Mexico. Oh, Mexico. Mexico, Mexico. I don't know, man. Is anyone counting the crosses? Is anyone counting the crosses? Chris Johnson said cross number 4. We had 4 crosses. Also saying Uzbekistan is leading again. Uzbekistan got the lead against Mexico. I hope they lose. I hope Mexico loses. I hope Mexico loses to Uzbekistan. It'll be too funny. They were all making fun of us because we kind of barely beat Uzbekistan, even though it was 3-0. We did barely beat Uzbekistan, right? It was pretty much 1-0, and then we scored because they were playing man down. I need to update this. I need to update the score here. Okay, I need to update on Twitter. Oh my goodness, Mexico. They're down 2-1 against Uzbekistan. And they're pretty much playing at home, right? Because the United States is pretty much home to Mexico at this point. Their fans pack every single game. Why though? 808 saying everything I missed with Berhalter ball. Boring, uncreative crosses. Yeah. Man, I don't know. Kind of sucks. And here comes Balogun. Tries to cross. Of course, cross. Melatonin ball. Weston, wide. Balogun, back to Destin with the shot and goal. Go. Floating Balogun. 1-0 for the United States. Off a rebound from a shot from Dest. So when Dest decided to shoot instead of crossing. Which leads to Balogun scoring off a rebound. Who would have thought that crossing is worse than shooting on goal? Let's see the replay here. So Weston McKennie got the ball, dribbles inside, switches the play to Weah, settles to Dest that just shoots it on goal. Yeah, we might want to stop with the crossing. In my opinion, it's not very effective. But 1-0 United States. Also, Balogun scores, so people can stop like complaining about Balogun because they were trying to criticize Balogun last time, which is kind of funny. By the way, I have breaking news. Do you guys want to hear the breaking news? It will be only for the people in this chat. I kind of announced it, but now I have it official. If you want breaking news, put 1 in the chat. I'm going to give news to you all. I know it's public because it's on YouTube, but only the people that are watching it live are probably going to know about this. So the breaking news is Breck Shea texted me back. He did not leave me on red. Breck Shea texted me back, and we are going to record next Tuesday. Yes, you heard it here first. Breck Shea is coming to Tactical Manager TV on Tuesday, and we're going to release the episode in the future. I don't know when we're going to release it. It's going to be part 1 and part 2. I sent him the topics. Breck Shea literally said he'll respond to everything. He's going to talk about the pig head story in Stoke City. He's going to talk about his time in Europe. He said he's going to talk about crazy stories. It's going to be the greatest episode in YouTube history, maybe the greatest episode in any soccer history ever. Breck Shea is coming to the channel. He didn't leave me on red. It was unreal. And I have to try not to act like a fanboy. It's gonna be big. This is gonna be my favorite interview of all time. I don't even know if we're gonna actually talk about soccer in this interview. I don't know. I just don't know. There's so much to talk about Breck Shea, but soccer ain't one of them. But next week, we have Eric Palmer Brown. And that was a good interview. I really liked Eric Palmer Brown's interview. Eric Palmer Brown interview, it wasn't we only talked about soccer, obviously. He talked about his journey abroad, Eric Palmer Brown, which was great. He talked about the struggles in France, everything. He talked about Berhalter, some private conversations he had with Berhalter that are interesting. It's nothing controversial, but it helps you understand a bit more of Berhalter's mind. That'll be out next week. Okay, Oman, Christian Pulisic, able to steal the ball. Here comes a cross from Pulisic. Go, 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 go. Off a cross. We scored off a cross. Tim Weah. Oh, no. We scored off a cross. Did he shoulder it in? Wait, was the goal off the cross disallowed? We scored off a cross and it was disallowed. The ref is sabotaging Gregg. The ref is literally sabotaging Gregg. Okay, Malik Tillman with the ball here. We finally scored off a cross, but then Timmy Weah decided to use his hands. Zoo is saying, can't watch the game. Any Oman baddies? I didn't see it, and I'm also not going to say anything without my lawyer here. I'll say nothing without my lawyer. Now you may be asking, who is your lawyer? I don't have one. Do I look like I can afford a lawyer? Like I'm one of those guys that I only get a lawyer if it like means I'm not going to go to prison. I can't afford a lawyer just to have a lawyer. I actually don't even know how much lawyers cost. So maybe I can't afford a lawyer. I just don't know how much they cost. Tony is saying, if you don't ask Breck Shea his thoughts on Gregg Berhalter's style of play, you should lose your channel. Soccer and use malpractice. Make it happen. We have to see if I even want to talk about soccer with Breck Shea. I feel like Breck Shea can be a very entertaining interview. Maybe we'll dive into Berhalter. I got to ask him if he even wants to talk about Berhalter. We also need to know, does Breck Shea even watch Berhalter ball? Maybe he doesn't watch it. He seems like a guy that has a lot going on in his life. And if you have a lot going on in your life, unlike me, you don't watch Berhalter ball. Like all of us, we don't have a lot going on. We don't have a lot going on. You can't have a lot going on and watch melatonin ball like Gregg Berhalter. And there now the super chat from the game Skizno is saying, better call Saul. Saul would be a good lawyer. I would like to have Saul as a lawyer. Great guy, Saul. Great guy. Christopher Lund has been very good so far. Yeah, I think he's been fine. He's been fine. No one has been poor so far in the game. No one, well, at least from the American perspective, right? The United States. Karl Marx. Karl Marx is saying, as a fellow communist, I'll be your lawyer. Are commies usually good at being lawyers? Does anyone know? I don't know. What are communists good at? What are they actually good at? I need to know. I need to know. I mean, look, I don't judge. If you're a communist, capitalist, you can be whatever you want right there. But as long as you're a good lawyer, you got to be a good lawyer. Okay, 19 minutes into the game right now. United States 1, Oman 0. We did score a second goal. But Tim Weah used his hands. So don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, I might not want to have Karl Marx as my lawyer. I might not want to. I don't know. It might not work. The ski is saying the COVID got me. Gregg Berhalter still sucks. Oh, feel better, man. Feel better. You got COVID. That sucks. It's a pretty bad. Hopefully you're feeling all right, dude. Hopefully you recover quickly. I had COVID, I think, 3 times total. 3 times. It wasn't too bad for me, but it does suck. Like I had a fever, terrible cough. And super sleepy. COVID made me extremely sleepy. Robert is saying the handball came off a cutback, not a cross. Good call. We got to go on full on anti-cross propaganda here. We got to go anti-cross propaganda. And again, when I go against crosses, when I go against Jesus Ferreira, not an attack on Christianity, okay? The crossing here, I'm talking about soccer, not the actual cross of Jesus Christ, okay? Uh, but going on, let's see. What is Gregg Berhalter wearing? He's wearing a hoodie. It's just a hoodie. I mean, I don't mind. The thing with Greg is, you see, when I think of a soccer coach, I think of two things. Either the guy dresses with a soccer coach athletic outfit, or he dresses like super formal, or like an adult. That's good enough too. Dress like an adult. Greg Berhalter usually dresses like, I don't know, like a high school kid. It's like kind of weird, or a kid that just got into college. Doesn't really dress like an adult most of the part. So most of the time. So again, Serginho Dest throwing for the United States. 21 minutes and 30 seconds for me. 21 and 30. I gotta keep following the Mexico game. I gotta keep following the Mexico game here because I really need Mexico to lose to Uzbekistan so I can continue my agenda. Like, I'm a professional hater, so yes, I am a professional hater. I'm a professional. I'm one of the best in the businesses. You name one person that's better at hating something than me. Most people can't do it. Most people can't do it. Oman with the ball in possession. And everyone, if you kindly could smash the like button, I would truly appreciate it if you can smash the like button. Right now we have 292. We can easily hit 500 or try to hit 500. It's free. Free is good. And I know it's a lot of work. I know it's a lot of work to just go and hit the like button. It's a ton of work, but you can do it. People that are better haters than me. Alexi Ladd is not a better hater than me. He is very good at shilling for things and putting out propaganda. Uh, Simon Cow, I don't know who that is. Skip Bayless. Yeah, you're right. Skip Bayless is a better professional hater than myself. Skip Bayless is good, man. The guy isn't Skip Bayless still running that anti LeBron James propaganda till this day? I'm pretty sure he's that guy. So Skip Bayless, yeah, Skip Bayless is good. Josh Herrera has said, "How has the game looked? Same old, same old." Yeah, look. I guess we're looking a bit better than against Uzbekistan. Tillman's not really playing as a 10, but he's there. We're still whipping in just a bunch of crosses, not creating much outside of that. We got a goal where Serginho Dest had a good strike on target. The goalkeeper let off a rebound, and then Balogun was able to convert it and get the goal for the United States. But again, yeah, it is painful. It hasn't really been that good of a game. And Oman in the first like 4 to 5 minutes actually looked a bit better than us. But so far, Oman, clearly there's a big talent gap between the United States. The one thing that's interesting is Yunus Musa is playing as a six, which I'd like to see it a bit more often. Christian Pulisic and bad touch. Pulisic's having one of those games again. Pulisic has been having one of those games so far. So far. He didn't play well against Uzbekistan. He's also not playing well so far today. And here comes Oman in transition, but Miles Robinson's able to recover and find Ethan Horvath. Horvath to Yunus Musa. Good ball from Musa to find Tillman. Good touch by Tillman also. Malik Tillman. Ooh, try to put a through ball to Timmy Weah. Nothing there. Did you guys notice how Balogun is dropping very deep? Balogun's dropping very deep at times. Oh, Matt Crocker. I don't like that guy. I don't like him. Nothing personal. Just don't like him. Does anyone here like Matt Crocker? Does anyone? I don't. I was excited and happy when we hired him. I was like, oh, something different. Yay. And then no, it wasn't different. It's the same. It's business as usual. Okay, Oman back to the ball for the United States. Sorry, guys, I'm taking notes here. I need to take notes. Otherwise, how am I going to do the 7 things we learned episode if I don't take notes in the game? Donald Espinosa, how do you feel about the Ecuador versus Uruguay game? So, Donald, I'm going to be honest with you. I was not able to watch. I was out with my girlfriend at that time. I did follow along with it. Dustin texted me earlier about it, saying Kendry Paez was playing very well. I did see Kendry Paez get an assist. That was actually the goal that Ecuador scored to win the game. It was a nice comeback in the second half. Well, late in the first half. So I just watched the highlights and I heard about it. So I didn't really watch the game. But how do I feel about it? I actually expected Ecuador to defeat Uruguay. I think Ecuador is on par with Uruguay these days, and they were playing at home. So I was expecting Ecuador to win. The thing that is quite fascinating to me is Kendry Paez already being effective at this level. Kendry Paez is, Horvath, he's a very promising player because you got to keep in mind, as a Brazilian myself, I understand that Brazilian players very often at a young age, they can be very overhyped. Ecuadorian players are usually not overhyped. They're underhyped. So if Kendry Paez has all the hype you're giving him, it's because he's actually good. And looking at the talent and how he's playing for Ecuador, he's already being effective for Ecuador in World Cup qualifying. How old is this kid? 17 against Uruguay? That ain't easy, man. That ain't easy. Here comes the United States. Dest with a cross, one hitter. Terrible cross by Dest. That could have been a goal, could have been an assist. But no goal for the United States. So I didn't actually watch the game, so I can't talk about that. But I expected Ecuador to win. He's 16. So Kendry Paez is actually 16. And he's already being effective for Ecuador in World Cup qualifying. That is truly remarkable. And Jeff is saying it would be great if Gregg Berhalter got excited and kissed Pulisic on the lips. What? What? Why do you want Berhalter to make out with Pulisic in the middle of the game? What? Look, yeah, I mean, if they want to make out, they can go make out. I got no issues with that. But why would they make out in the middle of the game, man? Why would they do that? Oh, let's go. The game is way more fun to watch so far. Well, this game is better than it's definitely better than the game we have with Uzbekistan. There are some interesting things that have been a bit different from this game. The midfield is essentially the same. We're playing with a three-man midfield in a 4-3-3. Yunus Musa is the 6, and then the dual 8s are pushing high up the field. No one's really a 10, but in possession, I guess you can call them an attacking midfielder. The thing that's the most interesting is our defensive shape. If you start noticing our defensive shape, Foreign Balogun keeps dropping back. So the two players that stay up top, essentially, are Weah and Christian Pulisic. While Balogun, in our defensive shape, sometimes even looks like a central attacking midfielder. Did anyone else notice that? So you have all the guys. It almost, so sometimes it looks like we were defending almost like on a 4-4-2 diamond when Balogun drops deeper. Now we see Pulisic dropping a bit deeper, but now you can kind of see it to a certain extent where Balogun drops a bit deeper than Weah and Pulisic. And when he does that, see when Oman is all the way back, Weah and Pulisic are the ones pressing up top. Balogun drops. We are defending on a 4-4-2 diamond. Our defensive shape is a 4-4-2 diamond. Kind of interesting. I don't like Balogun dropping this deep. I don't know exactly what Berhalter's trying to do with that. I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding what Gregg Berhalter's goal is. That's what I'm saying. Balogun is, I wouldn't say defensive, but it's like he's dropping deep as if Berhalter wants him to maybe combine and help in transition. And when you strike in transition, have Pulisic or Weah be the guys that make those runs in behind. But the thing is, Balogun is very good in transition. You need someone to feed Balogun. Look how deep Balogun is going, too. Now he's high up the field, obviously. We're in possession. When in possession, Balogun is pushing high up the field, but obviously defensively, he's been dropping a bit too much. Pulisic to Balogun. Balogun finds Malik Tillman. Yunus Musa opens out wide here to Timmy Weah. Weah to Serginho Dest down the right flank. The United States here at minute 30. Serginho finds Balogun. Nice pivot by Balogun. Switches inside, could get a shot, opens to Christopher Lund. What is Christopher Lund doing? Terrible cross by Christopher Lund. So it was a good hold up play there by Balogun, but then he didn't really act fast enough to get rid of it. But here comes Christopher Lund. And oh, that was a handball. Was that not a handball from the player from Oman? Or a corner at least? Was that not a handball? I don't know. Let's see. No, it looks like the ref's just giving you a goal kick. Let's see. Jeff is saying Tack, like the Spain guy got fired for kissing one of the players. And well, that's called sexual harassment right there, or sexual misconduct. He literally just kissed the women's national team player from Spain. It was Luis Rubai. Just grabbed her and kissed. That's why he had to resign. It's a bit different. Berhalter. I thought what you were talking about was like a consensual kiss between Berhalter and Pulisic. I don't know why we're talking about Berhalter and Pulisic making out. I just don't know why we're talking about that. And it won't happen. It won't happen. O'Shea is saying nothing wrong with a man kissing another man. Tack. No, nothing wrong. It's just wrong. Not wrong. It's just weird that they would kiss in the middle of the game. That's my whole point. Serginho Dest. It is. You know, it's what could be considered wrong. Maybe a player kissing his head coach during the game. I think that would be considered wrong. Male, female, don't care. Doesn't seem right in the middle of the game for a player to kiss his head coach or make out with the head coach. Vexy saying Uzbek has 3 shots with 2 goals. Mexico has 9. Well, that's called efficiency. They're efficient. Mexico's not. It's kind of funny. I wonder what's the expected goals of that match. Wait a second. Something's off. It says here that Uzbekistan literally had 2 shots on target. 2 shots went in. Tim Weah to McKennie. McKennie will get a cross, actually almost like a switch in play. And that was Miles Robinson with a shot saved by the Omani goalkeeper. So we have 418 likes. If we hit 500, I'll do Portuguese commentary. You can't kiss your employee. Yeah, but the thing is, it's not even Berhalter and Pulisic. It's not employee. They're coworkers. It's like kissing a coworker in the lips in the middle of work. And Berhalter's like Pulisic's boss. So it's like as if the boss and the employee, they just like made out in the game. That just doesn't make sense to me. Don't dismiss my fan fiction. Don't dismiss the fan fiction. Oh, fun fact, Fidel Castro was actually a lawyer. Okay, that explains it. Yeah, but look, enough of Berhalter and Pulisic making out. Also, Berhalter's married. Gregg Berhalter is married, so hopefully he's not making out with other people. In general, man, woman, don't care. Probably shouldn't be making out with anyone if he's married, besides his wife. Weston McKennie. To Weah down the left flank, way on the left wing. Weah cuts inside with a shot, and it goes out of bounds. Okay, that was a decent shot from Weah. Good move by Timmy Weah. Ross Brenner, thank you for the super chat. And he said here, Weston's been on every long ball, playing well in distribution. Weston's been doing well. It almost seems like Weston's playing as one of those like deep lying playmakers, dropping deep, going up top. Almost like not a deep lying playmaker, more of like a roaming playmaker, which it's not really the best role for Weston, but he's doing fine against Oman, I guess. But that's not really Weston's role. At least I don't see Weston at his best when he's playmaking, even though he can do it because he's a really good player. Okay, Pulisic switches to Tillman. Can't win the header, and Oman will clear it. Serginho Dest blasts the ball out of bounds. In a regular game, he would have gotten a yellow card for that. Yeah, he would have definitely got a yellow card for that, for just being angry and kicking the ball away like a child. there, there was literally a guy on TNT with a T-shirt saying "F it, we ball" with BJ Callahan on it. I don't know if you guys saw that. American Hooligans just posted it on Twitter. Amazing, simply amazing. Okay, Oman just tries to blast it forward. The technical gap between these two teams is abysmal. It's really big. It's really big. You should collab with Mark Goldbridge. Mark Goldbridge is too big, man. How Mark Goldbridge ain't giving me any attention. Where also he's English. He's English. Why would he give attention to an American? Why would he? Why would he? Even though me and Mark would probably have a good conversation, we would disagree on a lot of things. The best thing we can do, if the best collab I could have with Mark Goldbridge would literally be me and him debating on how overrated the English players are, the national team, because they truly are. They truly are. And I've talked to actually a lot of professional players that follow my Twitter. Yes, there are professional players that follow my Twitter for laughs. They agree with my take in regards to the English players. They're good. I think they're good. No player that's in the Premier League and is a stable a starter and performing well is a bad player. A lot of the English players are fantastic players. They're fantastic players, but they're extremely overrated. I talked about this when I talk about English talent. There's a few players that I look into England. I'm like, this right here is pure talent. This is a world class player that can probably walk into most, if not all, national teams in the world. Jude Bellingham, that to me is a pure talent. Harry Kane, Saka's a pure talent. Phil Foden, to me, that's a pure talent. He's fantastic. Outside of that, I see just a bunch of elite players. I guess Reece James and Trent Arnold, those two. Reece James when he's healthy. But outside of that, I see a bunch of elite players, but not world class players. And yes, that includes Declan Rice. I don't think he's world class. I think he's an elite player, a very good player. Uh, but it's like Saka, Harry Kane, Bellingham, Trent Arnold, and Reece James. The only concern with Reece James is the dude like gets injured a bit too much right now. I really I really don't rate Declan Rice that highly, guys. I just don't. And I don't also rate Mason Mount. The thing with Mason Mount that's insane is I kept calling him a cardio merchant on Twitter for a long time. And I would get so much hate for calling Mason Mount a world class cardio merchant. Chelsea fans would hate me for it. That's why I have a lot of Chelsea followers. But the thing was, eventually they turned on Mason Mount. So the crazy guy here was right at the end of the day. Mason Mount is just an old school English player. Jack Grealish to me is elite. He's an elite player. I don't consider him world class. Alphonso Davies to me, yes, he's world class. Alphonso Davies is world class. I think Jack Grealish is an elite player. I don't consider him a world class player. I don't put Jack Grealish in the same category as Jude Bellingham, Saka, Harry Kane. I don't put him in the same category as those. Rashford, really good player. Rashford. They just have to stop playing him as a striker, in my opinion, but very good player too. England is full of good players. That's the thing that people don't understand. Um, Full of good players. I just think there a lot of them are extremely overrated. And the weak links of the English national team are very weak. I think they have an issue on the left back position. I don't rate their left backs for the most part. Center backs, at least Southgate's options, in my opinion, are not that great. I mean, the dude loves Harry Maguire. I'm over Harry Maguire. Um, but of course, England is to me a top 5 national team in the world. But when I say overrated, I think people take it out of context. To me, England is a top 5 national team in the world, but I don't really place them as a contender because I don't see them as a top 3. I think Argentina is ahead of England, Brazil is ahead of England, France is ahead of England. I would even argue, like, this might be a bit crazy, but I would say Portugal on paper to me is better than England. I think Portugal is better than England right now, but that's just me. Tomori is good. Yeah, Tomori is good, but Southgate, does he play Tomori? He didn't used to. I haven't watched England this window, but he didn't used to play Tomori. He might even be their best center back. I did see that he played Mark Yehi that last game. Mark Yehi's a very good center back from Crystal Palace. I like Mark Yehi. Serginho Destable, 40 minutes into the match here. Not much has happened since I started talking about England. Uh, Portugal is more technical. The Portuguese team is more technical than England. I can assure you that. I actually do watch a lot of the Portuguese national team. Portugal is better than England, in my opinion, right now, regardless of coaching. Spain and Germany. Look, Spain is that whole tiki taka thing. Spain has some good, young, promising players coming up. We talk about Pedri, Gavi, that new kid Lamau, right? They also have Ansu Fati, maybe gets his career back on track with Brighton. But Spain is the same as always. I don't think Spain is better than England right now. I don't think Spain. Germany, I think they potentially can be better than England. But the problem with Germany is they were shit under Hansi Flick, and they just got rid of Hansi Flick. So we need to see how Germany looks without him. They just defeated France. Um, so they definitely look better. But I can't say Germany's better than England right now. There's no way. Malik Tillman settles, shoots, and that'll be a goal kick for Oman. Bad shot. Bad shot. It's like the thing with Portugal is you guys got to look into the Portuguese national team. Gonzalo Ramos, Rafael Leão. Rafael Leão is better than every single winger in England. He's better than all the English wingers. Not in England, but the English national team. Rafael Leão. Gonzalo Ramos, that's not Harry Kane, but that's a pretty damn good center forward. Bernardo Silva, Bruno Fernandes, Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz is better than every single English center back. Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz. Their goalkeeper is great. The goalkeeper from Porto, Diogo, right? Diogo's the goalkeeper. Portugal is very underrated. João Cancelo. You guys got to watch out for Portugal. John is saying slightly better from the boys today, but Oman is miles behind our bitter Uzbek rival. Yeah, it's one of those games where have we looked better today than we did against Uzbekistan? Yes, we're looking better than when we played Uzbekistan, but also Oman is probably worse than Uzbekistan. So Jonathan Hernandez is saying this team never plays through the middle. No, we don't. We don't. The thing is, okay, this is what I'll say. One thing. Playing through the middle in soccer is very tough. The spaces are tighter, right? And even when you look at Pep Guardiola's Manchester City, he likes to use width to create space. He's able to play centrally because he has overly technical players. Brazil likes to play through the middle quite a bit, mainly because the Brazilian players like to play in tight spaces and they like to play close to each other. So it ain't that easy to play through the middle with the U.S. men's national team. It's not that easy. Our players are also not developed in the most technical environments. That's another thing to say. They're not futsal players. They don't play much in the streets. So there's all of that. But we definitely have the talent to play and create through the middle and through the flanks, the United States. But unfortunately, Berhalter doesn't like that. Berhalter's main strategy is cross and pray. Okay, that was very poor choice of words right there. Cross and pray. It seems like we're heading to church, but you get what I'm saying. Just crosses, crosses, crosses. That's what Berhalter likes. And here, weren't we the team in the World Cup that had the most crosses in the group stage in the World Cup? I'm pretty sure we were. Spence Callies, what starter for England wouldn't start for the United States? Let me see. I would argue that I would not want Harry Maguire starting for the United States. I would be fine just going with Tim Ream and Carter Vickers over Harry Maguire, for example. Outside of that, Declan Rice would definitely start. James Madison would start. I know he's been playing a little bit of the 10. Jude Bellingham, Saka, Rashford and Pulisic on the left wing. Yeah, I think I would have to go with Rashford over Pulisic right now on the left wing. Center forward, Harry Kane. So pretty much almost every single position for England they would start. I guess outside of one center back. Left back, Chilwell over A-Rob. Yeah, I would probably go with Chilwell. Right back, Reece James or Trent Arnold over Dest. Yeah, I would go with that. So pretty much every single position of England would start for us. Maybe not one center back. That's about it. I don't know if I was being wrong on that. You guys let me know if you agree with me. But I think I was fair with that. MZ saying, why does West refuse to play through balls to Balogun? Two reasons that could be. One, it could be instructions from Berhalter to keep going wide, distribute the ball, try to find crosses. The other thing could be that Weston, that's just not Weston's game. Weston is not, I know he can do it. He is capable of doing, but I don't think that's Weston's game to put through balls. He can do it. We saw him do it in Nations League right against El Salvador, but that's not Weston's game. We haven't seen him do it that often. R. Lubin is saying, did you hear Southgate's comments on not playing Phil Foden in the midfield because of Pep? Just imagine if Berhalter decided to play Pulisic at the right wing back because of Tuchel put him there. I think what Southgate was doing was he was using Pep Guardiola not playing Foden at the 10, I guess, or saying Foden's not a 10 as an excuse. To be fair, Foden can play the 10, but I kind of like Foden on the right wing better too. I prefer Foden out wide. Just to be honest, I prefer it as well. But he can play the 10. He definitely can play the 10. And Foden is actually a very technical player, especially when you talk about England. They didn't used to develop the most technical players. And the first half just ended here. So Foden is actually a player I very much enjoy watching. He's super technical, like Brazilian level technical ability, which is to me is the ultimate one in terms of development. And end of the first half here, John is saying slightly better. Justus is saying Pulisic having one of those games, shit set pieces and bad touches. Yeah, it's another game in a row where Pulisic's not having the best. I'll say this, he's not playing as bad as against Uzbekistan, but I think it's mainly because Oman is just a bit worse. But Pulisic is having more or less a crap game, I would say. Right, Pete?
Yeah, not as good, not as bad as Uzbekistan for sure, but definitely not great. It's yeah. It's like I don't know where to stand right now because that wasn't as bad as Uzbekistan the first half, but it still wasn't great overall.
But
I'm saying.
but was that because we play better, or is the opponent a bit worse? We don't know.
Yeah, that's very possible. I feel like it's going okay until we get into the final third. And then once we get into that final third, doesn't seem to be quite the same level of cohesion.
So there were two things I noticed that we'll talk about this more in details in the post game because I'm gonna have to try to sort my thoughts. But I want you to have this in your head already so you can talk about it and elaborate better. Probably two things. When we're defending, did you notice we're defending on a 4-4-2 diamond with Balogun dropping?
Yeah, McKennie pushes to the left at times a lot too, even
Uh
in
huh.
possession. When Pulisic goes inside, then Malik drifts wide and Musa plays the 6.
Uh huh. And then we're defending on a 4-4-2 diamond. We attack essentially pretty much a 4-3-3 with the 2-8s pushing really high up I guess not even a 4-3-3 because if you really look into it, the fullbacks are pushing high up the field. Uh, the second thing too is like McKennie's playing like a roaming playmaker. He roams around and distributes the ball, and of course he's a good player. He can do it. It just doesn't really seem like his game. That's the
No,
only thing.
and it feels like the number one thing he's doing is switching it out to Dest, which actually he's doing quite well. Like
Yeah.
every time he gets on that left hand side, it was his switch to Tim Weah that got the first goal. And he does a lot of these switches to Dest or to Weah from like almost the left side of the field. And then he'll do this long switch, but then it will break down somewhere after that. We'll either try to play it in the box or the cross will be blocked. Malik Tillman, 50-50 game for me. I feel like sometimes I like what the intent is there with Malik. Sometimes you want him to he's turning on the ball. He wants to play it forward and then it doesn't always come off. And then other times he just plays it a little too safe. He's had a couple of good moments. But I don't think he's been dominant by any means.
No, I think best performer Weston McKennie is definitely one of them. Very involved in the game,
Yeah.
mostly effective on the ball. One thing that I found interesting is the goal you talked about. Right, you talked about the goal where Weston switches it to Weah, and instead of Weah doing Berhalter ball, which is just crossing it in and hoping for the best, he passes it to Dest, and then Dest also didn't do Berhalter ball and shot it on goal, and that led to a rebound where Balogun finally scored. Uh, I kind of hope and I wish again and look, we understand that crossing is part of the game and crosses can be dangerous. What we're talking about is a lot of the times under Greg Berhalter, it seems like the priority is try to find space in the flanks, whipping across. Space in the flanks, as if we had like a freaking Erling Haaland in the box to tap it in, that the positioning is outstanding. And it's not what we have.
Yeah, certainly not with Balogun.
Or
Like
any
that
of
was,
them.
yeah, but Balogun's goal was a poacher's goal, right? In and around
Mhm.
the box, get on a loose ball, finish. I do think though that if you watch against Kazakhstan, when we would push the ball, I'm sorry, Uzbekistan. This is not Borat. When we would push the
Careful.
ball wide, they would collapse wide. Like in other words, they would come and press us wide. They would try to close us down and squeeze us. Oman's not doing that. So we actually have a lot more space in wide areas. Like nobody's pressing McKennie. McKennie has time to turn into the field, look up, and make long switches under no pressure. When Weah and Dest have the ball on the right, they have tons of time to cross it in. We're still not getting our crosses right. And I think part of that is when you play with a 10, they're a little bit not, they're more worried that if they push wide and try to squeeze you, they've got a 10 to worry about centrally. And so I wonder if they're kind of collapsing centrally, mainly on Malik and Pulisic, and that's what's giving our wide areas. So that's the advantage of having a 10 there. When you have a 10 playing in between the back line and the midfield line, then they're a little bit more hesitant to squeeze one way because then they have to worry about that 10 in midfield.
But did you notice too how Tillman is not always playing as a 10? Sometimes he has deep. He's more playing
No,
like
he drifts wide. He comes
yeah.
deep. Yeah.
But he does have the instinct of a 10. That's more or less what you mean too. He does approach Balogun, try to go forward with it. It's a bit different when you're watching
Well,
Tillman
there was
play.
one in the 38th minute where he received the ball and he had three guys next to him, two guys on either side of him and one guy behind him. And he sort of got it on the half turn. And for a moment, he was like, I'm supposed to pass it to one of these two guys. It felt like that. But then he changed his mind and he quickly turned in field and he played a through ball that was then played back to him. And then he found Dest in the channel. He played it into space for Dest. So it's those moments that we need to see more of from Malik. But I think he has the makings of a good 10 down the line. He's just very raw.
He's also meant to be Gio Reyna's backup, which is a great
Right.
backup.
He's not supposed to be a starter for us.
Which having him as an option as he matures and develops as a backup to Giovanni Reyna, it would be great. Aaron Long for 2026 saying Balogun was shaking his head and upset at halftime. I didn't see that, and that can mean many things. It could be upset at the ref or
himself.
Even though he scored. That doesn't mean he's upset on a player or Greg. It's just be many things. Hans is saying, can you rank the U.S. men's national team best dribblers 1 to 5? Who's number one? Well, number one is Pulisic right now, in my opinion, best dribbler. Number two, probably Dest, dribbling ability.
Yeah, dribbling is like, you mean dribbling to beat your man, dribbling into space? It kind of depends.
Yeah, I guess
I think Pulisic, Dest, probably. Maybe
Pulisic,
Reyna
Dest,
third or Balogun third.
Weah, Balogun. Musa is also really good in terms of his dribbling. He just has to be more aggressive with it.
McKennie can dribble through midfield. McKennie and Musa are both quite good dribbling through midfield.
Yeah.
But Reyna, in terms of Reyna running with the ball, you can't take it off of him.
Yeah, it's tricky when you meant dribbling. Do you mean dribbling just like dribbling through the midfield, beating a player on one, like Neymar like dribbling ability, or you just mean like Mo Salah dribbling ability, we just like blasts through someone? What do you mean by it? But clear to me, Pulisic's the clear one, regardless of how you go about it. Jeff saying top 10 club rivalries, not in a particular order: Boca and River Plate, Liverpool and Manchester United, Inter Milan and Milan, Barcelona and Real Madrid, Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester United and Arsenal, Juventus versus Milan, Madrid Derby, Rangers and Celtic. Jeff, the thing about ranking clubs in that sense, we tend to usually rank teams that we know, right? So you can see you repeating Manchester United twice, Juve Milan. Like I'd argue with you that Juve Milan is not bigger in that sense than maybe the biggest Brazilian derby or some massive derby in Egypt, different countries. It's hard to rank, but I agree with you in regards to Boca and River Plate. That is one big rivalry. And if you remember a few years ago, they had the Libertadores final between Boca and River. They had to change it to Spain because they couldn't have it. I can't rank 10 out of the top of my head right now. I think I would have to sit down, think, and again, it's all subjective. It's all subjective. There's no, unless you make up a criteria. They're saying also, Ducks fans saying, we need Drake Calendar. He is our only hope. I mean, Horvath wasn't really tested at all. Horvath is fine.
Yeah, what?
I don't think Drake Calendar would change the game at all.
No.
Steve is saying, who should be taking set pieces today? Not Pulisic. I guess maybe try Tillman. I don't know, man. Even try McKennie. I know McKennie has the score.
Yeah, Pulisic. Some of them were okay. Some of them were not great. It's funny because he's taken them nicely for Milan. That's what's weird. Like Pulisic coming to this camp was coming off fire form for Milan, and then these two games, he's not been good.
The thing with him with set pieces, though, like it's always been like this inconsistent. Then he has a random game where he gets great set pieces. And then it just goes to crap. The thing is, he is, I guess inconsistent is the way to describe his set pieces. He's not terrible, but he's not consistently good with it. Sam is saying Uzbekistan not even full strength and beating Mexico 2. I wouldn't be able to tell you what's a full strength Uzbekistan squad. So I'll take your word for it. I don't even know if we played full strength again, like their full strength. I don't know.
Yeah.
Jack saying Crocker's scientific method will lead him to Gregg Berhalter as the coach of the U.S. women's national team. He'll dual hat. Uh, I feel like, and don't take this the wrong way, anyone, please, but I feel like Greg Berhalter's domestic abuse history would not allow him to be a coach of the women's national team. I think there would be pushback if that was the case. I think there would be. I don't know if you agree with that, but I think there would be. I understand his wife forgave him. There was an investigation. Everything's good. But I think in that sense, there would probably be some pushback.
It would certainly not be a good look.
No. So I doubt that would ever happen. And I don't think why would he want to also? He's with the men. He's not going to take two of them.
I
But
think
but
the
he was
comment was
joking.
tongue in cheek. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a joke. The super chat was a joke. Let's see. Miller is saying, I'm considering watching the friendly versus Ghana in Nashville next month. Can we expect an A team again next camp? Absolutely. It will be an A team. 100%. Now, that's not us saying Berhalter will bring the best players. That's a different topic. And then just last one here, and we go back to the thing. Trenton Cole saying Richards deserves to play everyday club ball. Yeah, but again,
he's got a Danish starter, and now it looks like an England starter in front of him at Palace. Like, what are you gonna do?
Crystal Palace has one of the best defenses in the Premier League. So, not easy. He could have gotten a loan, but they also don't want to loan him because they need depth, right? If they get injured, they need to play someone. Barney is saying winger and backs within 2 feet of each other and then passing it back to the center back just to reshuffle the same shit. Greg Berhalter masterclass once again. Let me try to see what he's saying. Wingers and fullbacks within 2 feet of each other and then passing it back. Well, that's the one thing with Greg Berhalter. He said this before, and that was even why he loved Sebastian Lletget so much. Berhalter really loves players that hold possession, don't take risks, hold the ball. He loves that. He loves possession. He talks about that, right?
It's the horseshoe.
Isn't possession a dominant performance? That's what he said against Canada. But going on here, Mexico's still losing to Uzbekistan 2-1, 77 minutes into the game. And when you look at Mexico's lineup, Pete, they were mostly their A players. Yeah, but it's mostly their A players.
I know, but that's what's crazy. You see that lineup and you're like, this is your A team now?
Yeah, I mean, they're missing a few guys like Alvarez. Kevin Alvarez is starting the right back. It's Jorge Sanchez. Angulo starting the left back. It's probably Gallardo or Arteaga. But they still have Charlie Rodriguez. Raul Jimenez is there. Alvarado that they love to start. Edson Alvarez. Johan Vasquez. Memo Ochoa. So it's like a mix of an A team and B team, like some reserves. But, dude, losing to... And they're pretty much playing at home at this point.
Yeah.
Stable Genius is annoying how we keep ignoring the runs by Balogun, Weah, and Christopher Lund. Pulisic and McKennie are the biggest violators. Well, I don't blame McKennie for that because that's not his game. And also, we don't know the instructions from Greg Berhalter. That is something Gio Reyna would probably have found them a few times, like he did, right?
Like he did against Canada, especially in transition. There was a transition moment where Malik got the ball, and you could tell he wanted to play it forward as Balogun was making that run in behind. And then the last second, he changed his mind and he passed it to Lund instead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like there is some type of instructions also to hold possession, play it safe, don't take many risks. I think Greg Berhalter is a bit of the ideology of the longer you hold the ball for, the less likely the opponent is to score against you, which that has been debunked the past few years as transition game has increased more and more. You don't need to have much possession to win. Like Chelsea, when they won the Champions League, they lost the possession battle in most knockout stages. Real Madrid, when they won it, they lost possession battle in most of the knockout stages. Of course, when you go to Manchester City that recently won, they usually hold possession.
But also, you don't get points for possession.
No.
Possession without a purpose is essentially meaningless, unless it's as a point in the game where you need to rest. But keep going.
Berhalter wouldn't be the first to abuse their spouse in the U.S. women's national team. That is true. That is true.
That is true.
That is true. And then Dobb is saying Mexico are shameful. Cortizo with the biggest penalty kick flop in history, and then he gets mad when the ref doesn't call it. Yeah, I mean they flop a lot. They flop a lot,
They've been
Mexico.
doing that for years. If they're not flopping, they're grabbing McKinney's throat.
Yes, and what's ironic was they keep calling out that Arjen Robben penalty kick for the Dutch, which they keep saying that wasn't a penalty kick. I still firmly believe it was a penalty kick, the Robben one.
Whether it was or not, the fact that you're still living in 2014 shows how sad your situation is.
Yeah, yeah, that is true also. Trendon Cole is saying, what's the score if Coach Foreplay is leading us? The score is 1-0, and we have Coach Foreplay in charge. Gregg Berhalter, lots of possession and no penetration, which is just masturbation. Gregg Berhalter right there. 1-0 for the United States. I just, the thing is, no matter what we do, if you saw it, you saw it. If you watched the Nations League finals and you had a good time with that, congratulations, you enjoyed it. We're not getting that for the next 3 years. We might not even get that for the next 7 years. So, if you
Yeah.
enjoyed it, good for you. There were comments we saw. We this week it was brought back to our attention comments about what Crocker was saying, and based on what he said, the goal is to keep Berhalter till 2030. That's the goal.
Well, he said 2026 and beyond. So it's almost like Berhalter can do no wrong. Also, there was that video of Berhalter coming out and saying, the goal was always for me to have 2 cycles, essentially. I don't think he worded it quite like that. But I think he said the goal was to have these guys or to take these guys through 2 cycles. It definitely felt like Berhalter was very confident that, oh, Pepe is on. Balogun is off, it looks like.
Yeah, because that was also pre-planned. It was for the whole camp. They're saying Balogun's not fully fit. Are we keeping Pulisic? The dude has a Milan derby on Saturday.
I would switch him out for Paredes at this point,
Yeah, yeah. The game is
especially because he's not
meaningless.
playing well.
Yeah, yeah. Let him rest so he can at least play
Oh,
in the Milan
Aronson
derby.
is on too. I wonder if he's on for Malik.
Or Pulisic.
Let's see. No,
Yeah.
Malik is still there. Yeah,
Aronson.
he's lining up on the left, so it must be for Pulisic.
Okay,
Man,
so
just give Paredes a shot at this point.
yeah.
All right, I'll see you guys.
See you soon, Pete. See you soon. Okay, second half is about to start. Malik Tillman is still there. Everyone's there. So Balogun and Christian Pulisic are out. Ricardo Pepe comes in for Balogun, and Brendan Aronson is subbed in for Christian Pulisic. Right? Pulisic. So we'll see how this plays out. I kind of wanted to get a look on Kevin Paredes. I wanted to see Paredes get some minutes here. Like we don't need to see Brendan Aronson. We know what he can do. We know what he can provide and what he can't provide. So, but again, not getting Kevin Paredes. Man, we got 45 more minutes of melatonin ball here with Gregg Berhalter. 45 more minutes of melatonin ball. Let's try not to sleep. How many? Okay. Serious question here. Serious question. Please don't lie, because I want to know the actual data here. So, tell me one thing. Have any of you ever fallen asleep watching the U.S. men's national team with my stream on? Has that ever happened to anyone? Has that happened to you today? Don't lie to me, please. NyQuil, yes. I'm changing. Judah. I'm gonna probably take this. I'm probably gonna steal this NyQuil. Dude, NyQuil knocks you out. Melatonin will put you to sleep, but NyQuil, good luck staying awake after you take like an actual full serving of NyQuil. Good freaking luck. It's terrible. But yeah, this game, I see some of you when you do Portuguese. So you fall asleep when I do in Portuguese? Which Portuguese? From Portugal or the Brazilian Portuguese? Brazilian Portuguese is beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. The greatest Portuguese in the world. Brazilian Portuguese. Julian Viva said, I can't watch the game because I'm working. To be fair, with this game with Uzbekistan and the game against, this game against Oman and the game against Uzbekistan, working sounds delightful right now. It doesn't sound that bad to be working. I just read that Tillman is doing bad. I honestly feel like in October, Paxton Aronson deserves a chance. I wouldn't say Tillman is doing bad. I would say Tillman is not really standing out the way he should. No one's really playing bad today. The only one that was kind of playing bad was Pulisic. Pulisic was actually playing bad. Tillman wasn't doing bad, just not great. But I'm okay with Paxton getting a look too. As long as he's playing there with Eintracht Frankfurt, I'm okay with that. Mitchell, thank you for the super chat, but you didn't write anything, Mitchell, so I can't read anything. Wait, did we hit 500 likes? Oh, we're 540 likes. 540 likes. Well, you guys can get the likes up a bit more, and I'll do some Portuguese commentary. I'll do Portuguese commentary now that the United States got the ball. Brandon Aronson com a bola, passou para o Christopher Land. Christopher Land com a posse de bola. Procura uma opção para os Estados Unidos, mas não está achando ninguém, Christopher Land. Volta a bola lá atrás com Chris Richards. Chris Richards procura outra opção, toca para Miles Robinson. Miles Robinson com a posse de bola. Acha Serginho Dest. Dest abre para o Chris Richards, não tem opção para os Estados Unidos não está fazendo nada com a bola. Toca para McKennie, e a posse de bola volta para Oman. Okay, that's enough of Portuguese for today. And that's Brazilian Portuguese, not the Portuguese from Portugal. The Cristiano Ronaldo Portuguese. Oh, Mitchell, you said, hey, Tack, the game is more fun and not melatonin worthy. I would say this game is more fun than the Uzbekistan game. My only question is it more fun because we're playing better, or is it more fun because Oman is worse than Uzbekistan? I think Uzbekistan gave us a harder time. Uzbekistan had more quality. But no, it's definitely better. This game is also later in the day. Like right now, it's 9:45 here in Orlando, while the game on Saturday was at 5:30 p.m. So if this game was as boring, I would probably fall asleep. Ooh, Chris Richards with a nice tackle. That was scary because it could have been a penalty kick for Oman. That could have been a penalty kick. European Portuguese. No. The Portuguese that I did was from Brazil. The European Portuguese, that's the one from Portugal. It sounds more like Cristiano Ronaldo, sort of like. Let me see one thing that I say. I need to think of something, but it sounds more like Cristiano because obviously Cristiano is from Portugal. What's my actual time in the game? I'm at minute 49 and 55 seconds. 49:56, 49:57, 49:58, 49:59, 40 and 50. Now I'm at 50. Corner kick for Oman. Ball delivered, and Horvath will hold it in. Hold it in. Hold it in kind of sounds like he's holding a fart. He didn't hold it in. He just held the ball. What's the difference between Portuguese from Portugal and Portuguese from Port and Brazil? I guess the Portuguese from Portugal, it kind of seems like you have something stuck in your nose. Like this. Like I'm gonna say the same. I'm gonna use a Portuguese word that's very common in Portugal, which is bacalhau, which is codfish. So if I say it in Portuguese from Brazil, it would just be like this. Eu quero bolinho de bacalhau. Eu quero bolinho de bacalhau. That would be Portuguese from Brazil. But if you go and you talk it in Portuguese from Portugal, it would be something like eu quero bolinho de bacalhau. Eu quero bolinho de bacalhau. That was the accent. So that's the difference. I don't know if you guys noticed the difference, but it's actually quite noticeable. Mexico's winning. No, they're not. It's 2-2. No. Did Mexico score a third goal? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, did Mexico actually score a goal? It's 2-2. Are we sure Mexico got a third goal? Probably rigged. If Mexico won it, oh, they did score. Oh, crap. I jinxed it. I'm sorry, Uzbekistan. I'll never be able to go to Uzbekistan in my life. It was probably rigged. Probably rigged. There's no way. I need to see this to believe it. Yep, it's 3-2. Antuna just scored for Mexico. Antuna scored for Mexico. Mexico is able to squeeze a late win against Uzbekistan. Lucky. They got the win. 3-2 if the game ends. Okay, I'm going to have to tweet it to update just to be fair. Yep, 3-2 Mexico. Then I'll go back into the United States, unfortunately. They definitely rigged it because Mexico couldn't lose to Uzbekistan. It'll be a shame. It'll be a damn shame for them. So they just rigged the game. You see, like Mexico is in such a bad moment in their history for soccer. And David is saying Brendan seems to have improved at club. So I'm interested, but more interested in Paredes. Brendan didn't really have a good start for Union Berlin. His first game, oh, header from Ricardo Pepi. He misses the target. He was kind of wide open. I need to see the replay. Ricardo Pepi gets a header wide open from a corner kick from Brendan Aronson. That was a decent delivery from Brendan, but a good goalkeeper would have been more well positioned. Also, defender would be able to clear that. But Pepe didn't get a good header there, misses the target. That's minute 53. So Brendan didn't have a really good start with Union Berlin. He didn't play well. He didn't really play well the first game. Did okay. Lots of hustle and a lot of times on the ground. In the second, was it the second game that he got a red card? Yeah, I think it was the second game. He got a red card, and then he didn't play the third game because he was suspended. So Brendan hasn't done well for Union Berlin so far. Mm, Anthony's saying, I don't know why this game is going the same time as the Uzbekistan match against Mexico. Beginning of the match started good, but too content with defending 1-0, not putting the game away early. Yeah, I mean, we're not bunkering by any means, but the thing is, let's keep in mind one thing. Berhalter is not one of those coaches that has a killer instinct, if you know what I'm saying here in soccer. You know, sometimes when you feel like you have momentum, some coaches can smell blood and then they have the team attacking and taking advantage and capitalizing off that. The United States, the United States actually doesn't really have. Oh my goodness, Uzbekistan scored. Uzbekistan scored. 3-3. Uzbekistan scored. Mexico's tying Uzbekistan. Ah. Uzbekistan just scored 3-3. 3-3. I need to update it on Twitter. Sorry, guys. Give me a second here. I got to update it. I can't leave DO3 fans hanging. They love me too much. They'll miss me. Okay, update. Oh my goodness. They tied 3-3 with Uzbekistan. They literally tied Uzbekistan. Could you imagine they score 4-3? Okay, the game's not over yet. Mexico and Uzbekistan. How many? Someone watching the game there because I can't watch the game. They're at the 93rd minute. So how many minutes are left in the game? It's not Jover yet. It's not Jover. It's not Jover. But Mexico might be Biden. Oh my God, those Joe Biden jokes are getting old. They're getting old. Actually, they never get old. It's Jover. I'm Biden. Those never get old. 999 said, is Speed eligible for the U.S. men's national team? Goated penalty kick taker. You mean I show Speed? Is that who you're talking? Isn't I show Speed American? He is American. I don't know, man. I don't know much about Speed, but I'm pretty sure he's American. Did I fall? Did my internet drop for a second? Am I back? Can everyone see me? Am I back? Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. Was it the Joe Biden jokes that they put it down? Come on, the jokes are just jokes. And then YouTube try to put me down. No, they didn't. It was my crap internet. My crap internet. So did the game end? Mexico and Uzbekistan? Not yet. Not yet. The game's not over yet. Mexico and Uzbekistan. 3-3. You know, man. For the second half here has been kind of boring so far for the United States. We had that header with Ricardo Pepi that could have maybe been a goal. It was a poor header. But going back here, they still got a shot. Karma. No, 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 no. I'm not jinxing Uzbekistan. They're gonna hold this draw. They're going to hold this draw, Uzbekistan against Mexico. Dude, how do you concede 3 goals against Uzbekistan? How bad do you have to be? Like seriously, how bad do you have to be to concede 3 goals to Uzbekistan? It's unreal. It's unreal. Okay, sure, the United States could have conceded a few goals. Oh, Tillman, good move by Tillman. Puts a through ball. Aronson got injured. It's actually quite impressive that Mexico actually conceded 3 goals to Uzbekistan pretty much at home. Yeah. Okay. Free kick here for the United States. So Mexico's international window was a draw with Australia, which is pretty much a rugby team. Okay, that's a joke. Australia is actually pretty good. They tied Australia 2-2, and then they tied Uzbekistan 3-3. It's such an embarrassment. The L3 is just literally done, man. This is like literally the worst I've ever seen Mexican soccer. I have never seen it this bad. Seriously. Okay, free kick here for the United States. Brendan Aronson will take the free kick here for the United States. Aronson with the strike. It deflects. Ooh, what is the goal kick? Go. Go. That was a goal. That was such a bad free kick, but it went in. A goal is a goal. But that was such a bad free kick. Hey, look, listen, listen. A goal is a goal, but that was a terrible free kick. It kind of seemed like it hit the wall. No, we'll just take it. He shot it. Oh, the wall opened. The wall opened and the goalkeeper just sucked. And then the ball went in. You see, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Sometimes it's just better to be lucky than good. The wall literally opened. The guys that Oman put on the wall were afraid of the ball. I kid you not. They were afraid of the ball. They got out of the way of the ball, and then the goalkeeper just has no reflexes. He has as much reflexes as a freaking 90-year-old. Okay, 90-year-old might be too much. He has as much reflexes as a United States politician, which that's like over 70, like an old person. I don't think there's any politician under the age of 70. I don't think so. Most are over the life expectancy at this point. 2-0 for the United States. Brendan Aronson scores out of a very weird free kick. Julian Vivas is saying there is another American named Corey McKinney who is learning about soccer. He's friends with Luke's Sports Academy. There's another American named Corey McKinney who is learning about soccer. He's friends with Luke's Sports Academy. Wait, what are you talking about, Julian? What's that? Like an American learning about who? Who is Corey McKinney? Who's Luke's Sports Academy? Thiago Martins is saying, oh, 1-0 against a country that I never heard of. Oh, 2-0 now, Thiago. 2-0. We got 2-0. Alexander is saying, will the stream continue for the Brazil game? That's a good question, but probably not because I have to go do the post game with Pete, and then I need to relax too and prepare the 7 things you learned. So probably not. I'm gonna have the Brazil game on, but I probably need to. Probably no. Tiago Martin said, "Has someone that is born in Oman is called? I don't know, Omani. Does anyone in the chat know if you're born in Oman? Are you Omani? Omanian? Omanese? Omanese? Maybe Steven is right. Steven's saying Omanese. Maybe. Nah, BMR, I'm not fake Brazilian. I'm gonna watch the Brazil game, but I can't do the live watch along. I have to finish the United States content. After all, we cover U.S. men's national team. That's what our channel covers. And I talked about this in the past. 'Cause it was kind of funny. During the World Cup, we got more views for Brazil streams, Argentina videos, World Cup videos. We could have shifted this channel into a global channel. We were getting 70,000 views, 100,000 views, and I would have gotten more views, but I still stayed with the United States. And here comes Malik Tillman across, and Pepe couldn't finish. Pepe couldn't finish. 62 minutes. American. American. That looked like a bad finish from Pepe. Cross. Oh yeah, that was a terrible finish from Pepe. Terrible, terrible finish. Uh, okay, 63 minutes now into the game. Oman is replacing now some players I don't know. Al Mamari and Al Gabri. I don't know who they are, but they're in. They're in. They're playing now. They're having a good time, I think. Yunus Musa, ooh, just got hit pretty hard right there, Yunus Musa. Tim Weah running to the right flank as if his life depended on this cross right here. Running to the right flank just to whip in a cross, just like a freaking exorcist. Just putting crosses after crosses. Trying to fight Count Dracula. Weston McKennie opens to Christopher Lund. Aronson. McKennie, good delivery to Weah, and then Weah has like a crossing addiction almost. A lot of crossing addiction from Weah. Malik Tillman, good press right there. Oman still has the ball. Chris Richards. Bad pass by Chris. Oh, he just kicked it out because Yunus Musa's on the floor. Yeah, Musa, you can't be actually hurt. Hopefully he's not actually hurt. It's just kind of like, I'm done with this game. That's what I'm hoping for. They found the guy that had the BJ Callahan t-shirt. The guy's gonna go viral, man. He's already going viral. It's actually kind of interesting of how McKennie playing as a roaming playmaker today has been very effective in this sense. Now, can Weston McKennie actually be effective playing as a roaming playmaker uh, against a tougher opponent? I don't know, but he looked good tonight. McKennie probably the man of the match. Tiago's saying you should get a pet entertainment on boring games. You should get a pet entertainment. What do you mean by pet entertainment? Like a dog? Yeah, that was a nasty tackle that they hit Yunus Musa. Oh, Premier League on Sunday, Bournemouth against Chelsea. The clash of mid-table teams. I wonder if Tyler Adams is coming back soon. Tyler Adams. Okay, super chat that I don't know if I should read this super chat. So everyone, you can look at the super chat on screen. I think I'm not going to read it because I could get clipped and get in trouble. Christopher Lund. Yunus Musa blows by the first one. Oman gets the ball back. Streen, Bournemouth. Ah, boring, boring Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea just sucks nowadays, man. Chelsea just became a mid-table team. What's weird is Chelsea was better before Todd Bowley just started pouring in money. They literally got worse as he poured money. Sure, there's injury issues with Chelsea. You got to understand that. But seriously, dude, Mexico, they tied. So look, listen, I'm not an expert on Uzbekistan soccer, but everyone on Twitter seems pretty certain that Uzbekistan did not play their best players, and Mexico tied them 3-3. We're about to hit minute 69. We're about to hit minute 69. Anthony saying, don't forget about the Milan Derby coming this weekend, Filippo. Absolutely. I'll see if I can do a stream. I don't know if it'll be possible. Remember, during the weekend, the USMNT abroad takes a lot of my time. So it takes a lot of my time. And usually I don't have a good chunk of my weekend because of the abroad. So sometimes I don't do live streams on the weekend. Otherwise, I'll go freaking crazy. And going on here, I'm gonna be watching the Milan Derby for sure. Also, there's also rumors um, that Pulisic might actually be on the bench. So if that's the case, I'll still watch it. I'm trying to get. Oh, Dest, what are you doing? Serginho Dest just loses the possession here. And Wayson is saying, even your comments are boring. No disrespect. Who's forcing you, Wayson, to be here? You shouldn't be here forced. Oh, minute 69. Nice. Minute 69. We hit minute 69. Nice. And as we speak of that, Ben Kremaski and Mark McKenzie are being subbed in. They're taking instructions from BJ Callahan. And keep in mind, this does not cap tie. This does not cap tie Ben Kremaski. This is a friendly, and Ben Kremaski is not getting cap tied. Let's see here if I didn't miss anyone in the chat. So Ben Kremaski will get his first U.S. men's national team match, like his debut, getting his debut. Um, so Ben Kremaski will get roughly 20 minutes. And then the other player we have here is Mark McKenzie that'll also get 20 minutes. Here comes Oman. Cross in, and that'll be a corner kick for Oman. The game is actually reaching one of those stages where it's just tiring to watch at this point. But I guess we get to see a bit more Ben Kremaski, even though I've watched a lot of Ben Kremaski with Inter Miami, and I talked about this extensively. Let me get a sip of water first. Hold on. So what I said was if Ben Kremaski did not have two passports, he wouldn't be in this national team, right? If he had two passports, if he had one. So he's not here really on merit. He's here on potential and as a recruitment. So we'll see what he can offer. Ben Kremaski here makes his debut for the U.S. men's national team. The 18-year-old from Inter Miami. Thiago Martins is saying, random question, Japan versus United States today. Who would win? Most likely Japan. If you're talking about soccer, most likely Japan. Albert is saying, put in Paredes. Yep, we're not going to see Paredes. Dest, and that's a terrible shot by Serginho Dest. That was not a good shot by Serginho Dest. I wanted to see Kevin Paredes, but it ain't happening. Let me see. Who do we still have on the bench for the U.S. men's national team? Mackenzie was on. You got Jedi Robinson, Kate Cow, Tim Ream, Luca De La Torre, Tanner Tessman, Drake Callender, Dejon Jones, and Kevin Paredes. Yeah, I'd probably only want to see Kevin Paredes out of all of those. Everyone else, look, De La Torre has a freaking broken nose at this point. You don't have to bring him in. Tanner Tessman did not play well the first game, so I guess you can give him a shot, but I wouldn't really bother it playing Tanner Tessman. Tom, what did Tom say? Everyone here in the chat is saying no, his best effort. Not his best. Okay. That was a Tom, are you a dad? That was a dad joke. Not a bad dad joke, but that was a dad joke. Kramaski can't settle. Oman has the ball. I hope I don't fall asleep midstream. I really don't want. Let me slap myself in the face. I'm getting sleepy with this game now. This is one of the few games that I'm actually almost falling asleep for the United States because there's like nothing at stake in this game anymore. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Those slaps kind of helped. I kind of woke up. Mark McKenzie wins the header for the United States, tries to go for it. Oman can't settle the ball to save their lives. Weston McKennie opens up to Yunus Musa. Yunus Musa out wide down the left to Christopher Lund. Christopher Lund slows down the game, trying to put me to sleep once again. Mark McKenzie finds Weston McKennie. Yunus Musa, good little turn from Yunus Musa. And he gets fouled once again. Julio Nunez, what channel? Oh, what channel is the game? You can watch it on Peacock. The game is also on TNT. Peacock streaming service or TNT. Kramaski, Weah, Serginho Dest, Kramaski drives inside, tries to open out wide with a bad pass from Ben Kramaski. Again, like I said before, Kramaski's young and still developing, and I don't really expect him to have an impact in this game. And now, because I said that, Ben Kramaski might actually score. Just because I said that, just because I said he might not have an impact. Well, what's the Brazil game on? I don't know where the Brazil game is on. I still have to figure that out too. I haven't had time to look it up, but let me see. Did Brazil start against Peru already? No, it starts in an hour. Brazil versus Peru is at 11 p.m. Eastern. Oh no, it started at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Brazil versus Peru. It started. It's actually quite interesting of how Fernando Diniz sets up Brazil. He is completely against positional play. Brazil is very fluid under Fernando Diniz. What I am interested in seeing with Brazil, oh, and here comes the United States in transition. McKennie opens to Brendan Aronson. Aronson down the left lane, cuts inside with the shot saved. Saved by the goalkeeper, Ben Kramaski. The United States, this can be good. Let's see what Kramaski can do. Finds Destiny, hits it out wide. Des hit that first shot on target. He's really trying to shoot, but ever since he can't really hit the target. It's been terrible. But going back to Fernando Diniz, the current coach of Brazil, if you want to see a complete Daewon Jones is coming on. Dest is out. Daewon Jones is in. If you want to see a very different style of play, you go watch Fernando Diniz. It's not positional play. It's very fluid. The players don't really have fixed positions, and he likes the players having proximity. So it's more of like the old school Joga Bonito Brazil style that he's trying to implement again with the Brazilian national team. So I don't really know if that's going to work in terms of Brazil winning titles, winning trophies. But in terms of like being a joy to watch, Brazil is a big joy to watch. It's very enjoyable. Julio Nunes is saying if this team plays Ecuador, Ecuador would win badly. I wouldn't say badly, but if the U.S. plays Ecuador, I would probably place Ecuador as the favorites, but I wouldn't say badly. Ben Kramaski dispossessed once again. Ben Kramaski hasn't really looked good ever since he came into the game. Greg just hit the MLS quota. He had to play Daewon Jones, Ben Kramaski, and Miles Robinson. Had to get at least 3 MLS players in, and he did it. He did it. He got them in. Des is on fraud alert. Well, our goal came off Des, right? That was what our goal came out of. Tiago Martins is asking, is there an international American football tournament? I don't know. Does anyone know if there's an actual like American football World Cup or something like that? Tack McKenzie or Zimmerman and Miles? Um, listen, I'm not a big fan of Zimmerman and Miles because they're very bad on the ball. McKenzie's a bit more comfortable on the ball, and he was also more comfortable during his Philly days. So I'd say a bit on Mark McKenzie, but overall, in terms of the defensive ability, it's very close, but there's a slight advantage maybe to Miles and Zimmerman. Maybe. I would say I probably prefer Mark McKenzie. I probably prefer Mark McKenzie, but it's not really a hill I'm willing to die on. Daewon Jones. Weah opens up to Christopher Lund. The thing that's interesting, we'll talk about this in regards to Christopher Lund. Christopher Lund wasn't bad. He also wasn't great. I just like I just don't really see the difference between Christopher Lund and, for example, a Sam Vines so far. From what I've seen today. Now, of course, this is one game to judge Christopher Lund, and he definitely wasn't terrible. So not a standout, I would say. Definitely not better than A Rob. That's for sure. That is 100% sure. Um, there is a flag football world tournament. Okay, flag football, Tiago, but not American football, just flag football. Daewon Jones crossed it in. Pepe settles, shoots. Oh, and he scores. Ricardo Pepe again. Ricardo Pepe scores again. Terrible goalkeeping. Terrible goalkeeping. Man, is this Oman goalkeeper a professional goalkeeper? That is terrible goalkeeping. But again, okay. Um, we'll take it. We'll take it. Okay. I'll actually, I can't blame the goalkeeper too much because the ball went right in between the Oman player's legs. Yeah, it went right in between the Oman player's legs. So I can't blame him too much. But he probably could have done better. He probably could have done better. It's Jover now. The game is Jover. The United States has won. Another super chat here saying the biggest problem for American football is the NFL and an evil empire that doesn't want other leagues to exist. Look, I don't watch enough NFL or know enough to even comment on that. I watch NFL if friends of mine are watching. I'm down to watch it. Super Bowl. I did a Super Bowl live watch along this year. Remember that? Should I do a Super Bowl live watch along again? I might. Maybe. Uh, but wait, they're saying own goal. Did we score number 4? Did you guys just spoil? I was looking at the chat. Everyone's saying own goal. Paredes with the cross. Oh, own goal. Own goal. Kevin Paredes with the cross. Kevin Paredes with the cross. He's having an immediate impact right away. Kevin Paredes with technically the assist of the own goal. Good pass from Ben Kramaski to Kevin Paredes. Oman just quit, guys. Oman just quit. Oman just quit. Oman quit. It's Jover for Oman. Uh, okay, Oman. Like at this point, now just go for 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. At least the guys that came in are hungry, right? Kevin Paredes, Ben Kramaski. At least they're hungry. Maybe it's not the same quality as the starters, but they're hungry. It's gonna come. They're gonna be more goals. Uh, great. Now Berhalter's infinite aimless crosses are validated. Vomit, dude. Here's the thing. Anyone that validates anything out of a friendly against Oman, like I said before, when you're playing terrible opponents, you look into the bad performances you don't really look into the good performances as much. Now it's important to have good performances, but at the end of the day, the bad performances tell you a lot more than the good performances when you're playing opponents like Oman and Uzbekistan that are not good opponents. These are literally national teams. These are literally national teams that never qualify to the World Cup. Regardless, you have to beat what's in front of you. And unlike the Uzbekistan game, today we actually got a very good 4-0 win. Of course, this doesn't validate Berhalter's endless crossing, but it is a big win. This is a good win, unlike the Uzbekistan game. Now, of course, as I said, the opponent matters. And we're going to have some very good opponents in October. October will be a camp that you can read into a lot of things. We're going to have Germany and Ghana. And I know Germany is a mess, but they fired Hansi Flick and they'll probably have a coach. And they're talking about possibly Julian Nagelsmann. We'll see it soon. So we're going to face probably a strong German side and definitely a strong Ghana side. And then it'll be interesting to see how the United States does. Ben Kremaski. Miles to Dejuan Jones, Ben Kremaski. Good drive forward from Ben Kremaski. Pass it to Dejuan Jones. Kevin Paredes down the right flank. Still has the ball. Paredes slips. Still in possession. Nope. Oman recovers. And now it's just now the game is starting to look like a little bit of like pickup soccer, lacking organization. There's things are a bit messy right now. Oman just abandoned whatever tactics they had. It's just kind of very messy right now in the field. Ben Kremaski, back to Dejon Jones. Pepe. Oh, nice move by Pepe. Pepe finds McKennie. That can be a goal. Oh, McKennie. That was a bad finish. Great play by Ricardo Pepe to set up Weston McKennie. That would have been a goal that Weston definitely deserved for his performance today. Good performance by Weston McKennie. But you all got to understand, too, at the end of the day, this camp did reach its goal. The goal of this camp was to fluff up Gregg Berhalter's winning record and, just fluff up with numbers, like inflate all of it. And it worked. It worked. He got 2 wins against 2 terrible opponents, a 3-0 and a 4-0 win. And now his winning record is even higher. And he's like the greatest ever, the greatest thing to ever happen to the men's national team, according to U.S. Soccer. TB saying, I swear that keeper was my Uber driver. What? No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Thiago Martins saying, holy cross of Paredes confused Oman's defenses. Anthony saying, to me, the score is 1-0. The other 3 are own goals. No, it's 4-0. It's 4-0. They were not the greatest goals, but it's still 4-0. Daniel Alder, you didn't write anything in your chat, and I don't know if you wrote anything after. I can't see it. I don't know. I can't see it. Adam Hearn saying the NFL owners have a great partnership with L3. They do? In what sense? And here comes Yunus Musa. Musa drives inside, and that's out of bounds. That'll be a corner kick for the United States. How do they have a partnership with L3? Being Ace's dad, Uzbekistan 3, Mexico's 3. Yes, Mexico allowed 3 goals against Uzbekistan. Mexico and Uzbekistan tied 3-3. 3-3. That'll be a corner kick now, Brendan Aronson. Corner kick. They held NFL games in Mexico. Oh, I know about that. I know about that. Didn't they also have NFL games in England? We had NFL in England and Germany, I think. I think so. Nigeria versus the U.S. men's national team score. Look, Neil, I'm not really an expert on the Nigerian national team, so I don't know. But you guys do have Osimhen. I'll say one thing. You guys got a lot of talent up top. That's what I know about Nigeria. Our defense would definitely struggle, but I don't know. enough about Nigeria to give you an actual opinion. Oman. Ball's back. Weston McKinney. Christopher Lund to Yunus Musa. Pulled, and that's going to be a free kick here for Oman. 87 minutes and 30 seconds. 87 minutes and 30 seconds. Kikimura is saying, went to the Mexico game. It was entertaining, but Mexico are just laughable. They bottled it. I'm sure it was a fun game. 3-3. You go to a game, it's 3-3. It's always fun. But Kikimura, you're not a Mexico fan, so you probably had a good time watching Mexico tie Uzbekistan, pretty much playing with home crowd advantage. Thiago Martins saying, what is flag football? Do they kick the... No. So flag football, you usually have like a flag on your waist, and it's the same rules as American football, but I think you can't tackle on flag football. You just pull the flag. Oman the cross, cleared by Miles Robinson. Paredes. Ooh, dispossessed. Paredes dispossessed, and then he just drops on the floor. Get up, Kevin Paredes. Get up. Get up. So flag football is just a different version of football where I guess you don't tackle. You just pull the flag out of people's waists or whatever it is. Okay, here comes Uzbekistan. Ooh, Daewon Jones. I would retire after that. Just retire. That was embarrassing. Did he just get nutmegged by the Oman player? Just got nutmegged by the Oman player. Just retire. What's going on in Nations League? So Nations League is an interesting one. We have the United States will play Nations League quarterfinals this November, and we need to win the quarterfinals to qualify to the Copa America. If we lose in the quarterfinals, we are out of the Copa America, the United States. So we'll see how it goes. We play in November. I fully expect us to qualify. In regards to who do we face, we don't know yet, but it won't be Canada. It won't be Mexico. And I think the other one is it Costa Rica? Oh, Musa finds Brendan Aronson. Aronson, what do you do? Oh, goodness. Be quicker with that. Aronson sends it to McKinney. McKinney. Oh, bad pass from Weston McKinney. Daniel is saying, I'm going to the United States-Germany game from Indy to Connecticut. We're playing Connecticut? We're going to play in Connecticut for the German game? I didn't know that. 2 minutes added by... Why would the ref add any minutes to this game? Like, the game is literally over and it's a friendly. Just end the game. Just stop it. We hit minute 90. Just end the freaking game. Yunus Musa cuts inside, tries a... Oh, good shot. Good shot by Yunus Musa. Long shot. Kevin Paredes. And again, why is Kevin Paredes pretending that he's... Every time he gets touched, he pretends to be injured. It's freaking annoying at this point. The McChronicle saying, Tack, I'm pretty sure everyone already for Copa in the last Nations League. No. We are not guaranteed in Copa America. We need to win the quarterfinals of this year's Nations League. If we don't win the quarterfinals, if we don't advance from the quarterfinals, we are not qualified to the Copa America. So, nope. We are not qualified yet to the Copa America. We still have to play the quarterfinals. Brazil 1-0. Brazil already scored against Peru. Tackle here from Weston. Minute 91 and 20 seconds. The game's about to end in 30 seconds. 30 seconds and the game's over. Christopher Lund. Oh, terrible pass from Christopher Lund to you. Okay, I'm not going to judge him on that because it doesn't really matter. But yes, Brazil got the lead. Brazil 1-0 against Peru. Goal scored by Richarlison. Here comes Oman. This will be the last play of the game. Just clear it, and that should be over. That should be over. Ref, just end the game, man. I just want to end the stream. End the game. Just end the freaking game. Mother liquor. Let's go through here. The game's over. United States 4, Oh, well, I mean, it should be over, but okay. The ref finally ended the game. So United States 4, Oman 0. We got the goal of the camp, like which was to spike up Gregg Berhalter's winning record against terrible competition, but we won. It was better today than it was against Uzbekistan. It's a little bit tough to judge this specific game because I don't know if Oman is worse than Uzbekistan. I can't tell, but that'll do. We're gonna go now to 11 Yanks for the post game. The 11 Yanks channel. Just Google if you don't know 11 Yanks. We're gonna go to the post game. United States 4, Oman 0. We got 2 wins this camp. 3-0 against Uzbekistan. 4-0 against Oman. Also, if you want me to do a full camp recap on Friday, an edited video, drop a comment on the stream after I end it, and I'll do a full camp recap with my thoughts, where I can actually sort them out. Okay? I'll see you guys at 11. I'll see you guys. Sorry, what was happening to me? Going crazy here. Okay, I'll see you guys at 11 Yanks. Ciao.